The first call came in just after sunrise, 6:17 a.m., at the border between Canada and the United States. A man had been found, lying behind a maintenance shed. By 6:24 a.m., a second call came. Same man. Same position. Same clothes. Same name. 2 bodies. 1 man. Or maybe, 2 of him. Tonight, we're diving into a case that defies explanation. A story of duplication, impossible coincidences, and a life, somehow replicated down to the smallest detail. A life that ended not once, but twice. This is the story of Daniel Mercer, and the morning the border revealed something no one could have imagined. The first call came in at 6:17 a.m., just as the sky was pale and the first hints of sunlight were brushing the border crossing. A Canadian customs officer reported a body. Male, early 40s, slumped behind a maintenance shed on the north side of the Peace Arch border crossing. Feet pointed toward the invisible line dividing Canada from the United States. 7 minutes later, at 6:24 a.m., a jogger in Blaine, Washington called the U.S. Border Patrol. She'd found a man, lying behind a nearly identical shed. Same position, same posture. At first, officials assumed confusion. Borders are strange places. Jurisdictions overlap. Early morning radio chatter can be messy. But when officers arrived on both sides, something felt profoundly wrong. Because there weren't 2 witnesses reporting a single body. There were 2 bodies. And they were identical. Same height. Same build. Same face. Same clothes. Same wallet in the back pocket. Same name. Daniel Mercer. 43. Born in Spokane, Washington. Software logistics consultant. No criminal record. No known enemies. Both bodies lay in the same position behind identical sheds, separated by less than 30 yards. Officers stood across the border from each other, staring at the impossible. At first, they thought someone had played a prank. Then they realized, nothing about this felt like a prank. Daniel's wife, Laura, was the first person investigators called. She lived in Spokane, 3 hours south. Half asleep, she confirmed the basics. Yes, Daniel had been in Vancouver for work. Yes, he was supposed to return home that morning. When asked if he had a twin, she laughed nervously. No. Definitely not. They didn't tell her about the second body. They just asked her to identify her husband. She arrived that afternoon, red-eyed, gripping a crumpled paper cup of water. They led her to the American side first. She broke down immediately. "That's him," she whispered. Then, gently, they asked her to walk with them across the border. She thought it was a mistake. But when they pulled back the sheet on the Canadian side, her knees buckled. Because it was him. The same scar above his eyebrow from a childhood bike accident. The same crooked pinky from college basketball. The same wedding band, engraved with a date and a nickname only she knew. No difference. Not one. Laura was sedated and taken to a hospital. Investigators stood, stunned, staring at a problem that had no precedent. Federal authorities were notified on both sides. Intelligence agencies quietly got involved. The autopsies confirmed what nobody wanted to believe. Both men had a single gunshot wound to the chest, left of the sternum. Entry only, no exit. No weapon nearby. Same angle, same distance, estimated death within minutes of each other. Both had fresh gunshot residue on their hands. Both had mud on their shoes matching the patch near the fence line. Both had the same watch, stopped at 6:12 a.m. Every test returned the same results. Fingerprints. DNA. Dental records. Both men were genetically identical. Not like identical twins. Exactly the same person. Digital evidence complicated everything further. Daniel's phone records were normal. Calls to his wife. Messages to coworkers. Emails about delayed invoices. Bank records showed everyday transactions, hotel charges in Vancouver, gas station purchases, and one coffee bought at 5:43 a.m. But then came the security footage. A gas station 2 miles away showed Daniel buying fuel at 5:41 a.m. 2 minutes later, a coffee shop showed him paying for a drink. Distances were plausible, but the timestamps were unnervingly precise. The raw camera logs confirmed it. Then the passport scans appeared. 5:58 a.m., Daniel's passport exited Canada. 5:59 a.m., entered the U.S. 6:01 a.m., re-entered Canada. All legitimate scans. The border software registered nothing abnormal. Investigators checked Daniel's hotel room. His suitcase was neatly packed. But there was a second suitcase, same brand, same wear, same initials stitched inside. Same clothes, same arrangement. It looked like someone had duplicated his life down to the smallest detail. The two bodies were examined further. Ballistics confirmed both were shot with the same caliber weapon. Rifling marks matched. Manufacturing batch matched. But no gun was ever recovered. And yet, both men had died from what seemed like the same weapon fired at the same time. Investigators whispered a word in closed meetings: duplication. Theories were endless. An identical twin raised in secret. No records. A body double. Impossible given DNA and dental records. A sophisticated hoax. No explanation for the real, dying bodies. Even the suggestion of quantum entanglement was dismissed politely. Laura remembered small, strange things Daniel had said in the weeks prior. He'd complained about headaches, lost time, and intense déjà vu. Once, he panicked because he didn't remember which side of the bed he slept on. She laughed then. She doesn't now. Investigators reviewed his work files. As a logistics consultant, Daniel specialized in cross-border supply chains and customs software. Recently, he'd been consulting on a classified project testing border security fail-safes, simulated crossings, simulated identities, digital twins. Officially, it was all virtual. But Daniel had written an email 3 days before his death. Have you ever had the sense that the system doesn't just simulate anymore? That it's resolving? His colleague replied jokingly. Daniel didn't laugh. The night before his death, he called Laura from the hotel. He sounded scared. If anything happens to me, he said, know I haven't been alone. The final hour was reconstructed as best as possible. Security footage near the maintenance sheds captured movement at 6:10 a.m. 2 figures. Standing together. Arguing. Identical. One hand raised. A flash. One figure fell. Seconds later, another flash. The second figure fell. No third person. No weapon. No escape. Just two men, killing each other, or being killed by something unseen. The case was quietly sealed. Cause of death, homicide. Suspect, unknown. Public explanation, tragic coincidence involving separated twins. Most accepted it because the alternative was unthinkable. Years later, Laura was allowed to see Daniel's wedding ring after cremation. She stared at it for a long time. Because there was a second ring in the evidence bag. Identical. Same engraving. Same date. Same nickname. No explanation. Maybe the border didn't create the crime. Maybe it only revealed it. And sometimes, when systems are designed to erase differences, they don't just blur lines on a map. They blur the line between one life, and two.